Hello everybody, welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 2 Randomizer. Last episode we did everything in Olympus Coliseum, and today we're going to take on Disney Castle, which might actually mean this is a ever so slightly shorter episode than the episodes before this, because obviously Disney Castle being a slightly shorter world. Anyway, from my memory, it is. Maybe that's just because there's less cutscenes here. That is entirely possible. And the gameplay portion is going to be roughly the same length, though I kinda doubt it. We'll see. Let's focus on the chests out here, because I don't even see any enemies at the moment. And we start with the Comet Staff, which we give like about 0 shits, because we have saved the Queen Plus, right? I think we do. Oh my god, we got a marketplace map! That is, we needed that so badly, because I think we already have like 3 of those. Oh no, those were the basement maps, that's my bad. We didn't have a marketplace map yet. So that is actually something new, and a remembrance gem. Again, we're not synthesizing anything, so that's not going to be important at all. A picture. We're not getting very lucky so far, are we? I mean, we have the awesome weapon, so I guess last episode we got supremely lucky. And we got the Hades Cup trophy, which I don't think really allows us to do anything other than just have it. But that might actually unlock something in Olympus Coliseum, and we have a dense crystal as well. There's not a lot of enemies around here for some reason. I kind of approve of that, but I'm also kind of scared about the whole shadow thing going up. I guess the shadows won't get randomized because groups of shadows tend to not get randomized. Dark Remembrance map. Oh, such a difference between all the maps, which I don't care about. So let's see if we... okay, so we do get normal infinite shadows here. Usually I try to kill off all of these shadows to gain some experience. Well, experience in general is a good idea. But usually I try to do that with Valor or Wisdom form. Because obviously Valor form, not great. Wisdom form, this is a real good place to grind. Where you have... It's not infinitely spawning, but you have a lot of shadows spawning around here. So it's a real good place to... Glide level 2. Let's equip that in a moment. That might automatically level up the glide I already had there, by the way. So maybe we already have glide level 2. We'll see in a moment. There's no reason for me to stay around here. There's not going to be another 1500 experience. Let's see. That feels slightly faster. That feels slightly faster for sure. I think I already have glide level 2 equipped now. So, let's check that before we actually move on with our lives. It should. That's how growth abilities work. No, we... Huh! That's interesting. So we get separated versions of the growth abilities, meaning that... Huh. I mean, I knew we got a quick run level max the last time around, but still. Let's see what this big chest gives us. It better be something good. It's... Melvin Bandana, which I guess it could be worse. Let's save here just because why not? And then we are going to go to the actual first randomized challenge of today, which is not the Hall of the Cornerstone. It's what's the name of the place? The throne room. That's it. I think we already had a Leaf Bracer. But let's check. I don't have Cure yet, so either way it does not matter. But I think I already had Leaf Bracer anyway. Yeah, so I've got Leaf Bracer twice now. That's not going to really help me, is it? I'm safe stating here again, because I feel like either this or going into the throne room is a potential crash. This clearly is not a crash, so that's good. The throne room I remember being an issue, and I remember the portals in Timeless River being a potential issue. So both of those we're going to have to be careful with, and both of those are of course mandatory. They're not impossible to go over, by the way, or go through in a randomizer, because last time around I did do them. Well, let's try that again. Yeah, it's a spawning of that enemy. So we're going to reload into a different patch. See you guys in a moment. Are these the same enemies? These feel like the same enemies. They might not be. I don't really pay attention to the enemies themselves because most enemies, unless they're like big, aren't that much of a threat, generally speaking. It feels like they're really the same enemy. So that could potentially start some issues any moment now. But in that case, I don't know what we do because I definitely did load a different randomizer. But last time I think the spawning of the dragon is the thing that crashed the game. So yeah, no, these are definitely different enemies. Never mind. I'm just being a little bit of dum-dum. So these are not being that big of a deal, really. I say that while Minnie is absolutely getting annihilated back there. Minnie's in danger. Who is even attacking me? What? No! Also, T-post soldier, because why not? It's a T-post timeless river soldier, even. Okay, Minnie is mostly dead at this point, which is not very good for me, because I don't like these escort missions. This was actually not the thing that is scary for crashing. That is the thing that's about to come up after this cutscene. And that is the annoying part, because... What? These enemies, still very much not an issue, so far anyway. So, I'm just gonna skip over this because we've gone over this section. It's a little bit different enemy-wise, and these enemies are actually dealing quite a lot more damage to Minnie. And can I not attack you? Oh, that is a problem. Oh, that is a problem. Can I attack you with magic? I can. I can, luckily. Okay. I was gonna say, that could potentially be a problem. I also probably should be using the reaction command Faith a little bit more, because that is actually somewhat powerful. As it becomes clear there. So, I'll be back with you once we actually make it to the throne room, or we crash again, one thing or the other. I wonder which one it will be. I have a feeling. Guess what happened when I finished again? My god, this is ridiculously so much easier than when it is randomized. It's kind of, well, ridiculous. We get an opportunity here to go back. So I'm going to try to enable a randomizer there. I don't know why it crashes for just that cutscene, if that's the case. But clearly we get an opportunity to go back here and go to the save point. So I will take that and try to randomize the throne room regardless, because obviously... if that turns into a lot of powerful heartless, that'll be funny. For you. And painful. For me. Well, that's kind of like the basic idea of this series and randomizers in general. So, you better fucking be entertained. Oh, wait a moment. I have to redo this. But they're all... shadows now. But there's way more shadows than there were before. I'm confused. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I am massively confused. I think my experience likes it, so that's okay, but I'm confused. Oh, I don't have to redo this. This is just... now it's just the normal shadows that spawn here again. Which means I don't even have to worry about these shadows. I can just presumably walk into this door over here. Yeah, I can. Which might crash my game. Let's find out. It goes into a cutscene, which then goes into... I'm not hearing any music. I'm hearing music. I'm not seeing any scream. You know what that means. Let's try the next down the list. Because this ain't working. None of the other patches worked, so we're just doing this the vanilla way. I'm going to try to not kill as many of these heartless as I usually would, because I don't want to accidentally level up without the randomizer being enabled. Because as you could see with my last level up, sometimes the level up rewards can be really good. And these things give a decent amount of experience, so I don't really want to kill too many of them if I can avoid it. That being said, I'll do all of this off screen, because this is not randomized. You've probably seen this about a million times before, because... if you're watching this, I very much doubt that you're very new to Kingdom Hearts. Dude, I'm almost leveling up and I'm not okay with that. As you can see, I'm only like 3 or 4 kills away from... only 2 kills away from accidentally leveling up, and we're very close to the end. Please do not make me level up before I can re-enable the randomizer, because that would not be fun for me at all. But I think we managed it. So now we're going to re-randomize again, and oh, it's the bonus here. That is... Sometimes the bonuses mess up the randomization and make it crash. It's the fact that we had a bonus there, which is why the randomizer crashed before. That being said, let's go randomize again. Well, that's been Disney Castle. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Kidding. It's the same world. But we do have some new chests to open. So let's open those up, and Goofy Turbo is not something I particularly care that much about, but maybe this big chest will hold something valuable for us, like a tranquility gem. It's real valuable. So valuable, in fact, that I'm kind of disappointed by it. I seem to remember this Pete fight not actually getting randomized, so that'll be... That's good! That's really, really good! That's so good that I don't have enough AP for it. Let me go check out what I can unequip, because we do want that really, really badly. Okay, so now we've got an explosion equipped, which is gonna be scan. I guess I'm just glad I already had it. I guess I'm just glad I already had it. So let's explode Pete. Yeah, so for some reason this Pete does not actually get randomized. I don't know why. Maybe because he's not actually indexed as a boss fight, and instead he's a class of his own. Oh man, I love explosion. That is a possibility. I'm not entirely sure why he doesn't get randomized. He's not a normal enemy, for sure. But I'd expect him to be a boss, and I also wouldn't expect him to have any issues with like being in different arenas. So I don't know why that doesn't get randomized. What I do know, however, is that these gates really do like to crash the randomizer a lot. So I'm going to save, and we're going to try and see if we can get through this with the randomized patches we have. There is a possibility that we cannot, and we have to go through this with the normal randomization, the unrandomized version. It's a possibility. It's a fairly likely possibility. But I will try to at least have some amount of randomizer going on here. Because sometimes naps just don't end, because end triggers don't work. Sometimes they don't start. In this case, it does start, luckily. And these don't actually seem that bad, all things considered. I can't really use explosion that well on this map, because obviously we're going to be using mostly aerial attacks here. I think I still have aerial finish equipped. And that strength and magic increase, you know what? I don't actually mind that too much. But we still got air slash here, which I guess is a useful move. More useful than explosion? I don't know about that. That gives 90 experience already? The fat bodies? That is a lot. That is a lot. I don't know how many waves of these there are. I don't think there's too much in the... Yeah, I think we had this issue last time as well, where after defeating all the enemies, we kind of got stuck here. Yeah, we did. So I guess we're going to wait until we lose and then just try the next portal. We've done this portal. We've beaten it. The game just doesn't see it as us having beaten it. So I'm going to just do this with the clean version afterwards, after we beat it. All the other ones, that is. Luckily, this one, the crisis meter fills up slowly but surely. Some of the other maps don't have that luxury. Fun fact, these gates are probably one of the better ways in the vanilla game to level grind wisdom form, since you're so close to the door between Timeless River and... You're a very large dragon, aren't you? So close to the door between the two worlds. If you go through the door, you're... Are we already like... Wow. I made a save stage just in case this happened again. Your drive gate will actually be reset into being full, so you can keep going into wisdom form over and over and over again without having to buy drive recoveries, and that's just a generally useful thing to do. And as such, this is one of the better places to grind up wisdom, because there's a lot of heartless in a very compact space, and it also scales very well with only being able to do one of them, and then when you have more drive time, you can do 2 of them, and then when you have even more drive time, you can do 3 of them, and then for the last like 1 or 2 levels of your drive grinding, you can do all 4 gates because they all interconnect as well. You probably already knew that, but I figured if you don't, here you go. And it's the damn sorcerer blocks again. So that's that. Let's go to the last one, and then I'll clear them all in the vanilla version of the game, I suppose. This is not the most exciting part of the whole shebang anyway. That's going to be the 2 boss fights after this, which... This crashes the game. It does not. But there's no music. Why is there no music? This is really eerie. There's also no black hole. Huh. Also, why is it snowing? Is it usually snowing outside here? I don't think it is, right? It must be. Huh. I don't think I ever noticed the fact that it snows outside. I'm slowly losing my mind. Maybe because we don't have the music. Okay, so something that is really, really interesting is that there are separate enemy instances for the black and white versions of all of the Heartless, because we have seen black and white versions of the Heartless spawn outside of Timeless River. But then when you're inside Timeless River, all of the enemies that don't usually appear in here still are black and white. Which is really weird. Also, we've done that. I'm going to get a level up that is not randomized as a result of all of this. We'll just have to kind of deal with that. This is also the word last time when I did the randomizer. I got a decisive pumpkin here, I do believe. Or did I get my second decisive pumpkin here? I don't remember. I'm going to clear all of that bullshit and then I'll be back with you in a moment. For me, that's going to be like 10 minutes. For you, it's going to be instantaneous because the magic of video editing. Oh, by the way, I am now noticing, yeah, it does usually snow outside here. I was just losing my mind. Let's move on. You get the window of time map as a result of this. So I didn't get one randomized item. That sucks a little bit, I suppose, but that was ridiculously easy when it's not randomized. Turns out when you have the ultimate weapon and get more experience per enemy on average, because everything is randomized, and you go back to a non-randomized version of the game, it becomes really, really, really easy, especially since it's on beginner mode, which makes it even easier than it needed to be to begin with. For the randomizer though, beginner mode is kind of necessary. So let's go back into the randomization and go defeat the 2 boss fights of this world, one of which is probably not going to be randomized, but we'll have a randomized reward potentially. And there's some chests around there as well, so that'll be exciting. As I thought, this doesn't get randomized, but there is some chests around here, so let's focus on that, and then I guess we can take out the boss fight after that. Or we can take out the boss fight first, because he apparently really wants us to. I think there's 2 or 3 chests around here in total, so it should be fairly interesting to see what that actually ends up being. Maybe with the ultimate weapon I can actually finish you in one go, especially with my high level as well. Yeah, with Hang On. Yeah, this boss fight isn't really a boss fight, it's more of a mini game, honestly, because I'm so glad that I got glide level 1 from that. So glad that I got glide level 1 from that. But we also got another drive power up, which actually makes me think, because now we're at 8 drive, and usually Swords of the Ancestor. Amazing. Usually 9 is the most you can get. Frontier of Ultimate. Is that a keyblade? It is a keyblade. A familiar keyblade to Sora called the ultimate weapon. It can be used for checking movement. This is a debugging keyblade. This is the debugging keyblade. Yeah, I've seen this on the wiki before. It's the leftovers from the Kingdom Hearts 1 version of the ultimate weapon. But they used it for debugging and like animations and all that kind of stuff, right? Because they needed something. I don't know why they didn't just use the Kingdom Key, because they also had that model and that was going to be in this game as well. It seems to have the same stats as the Kingdom Key, I think. But we're going to stick with the ultimate weapon. But that is very interesting to know. We have... it even has a name. I didn't realize that it actually had a proper name as well. Let's give Sora some more accessories as well, because we unlocked some of those slots. Master Ring? I guess we could go with a Master Ring, and then maybe... Maybe an Oracle Ring wouldn't be a bad idea. Do we have anything else that could potentially be interesting? Not really. Maybe... Maybe the Platinum Ring wouldn't be a bad idea either. A little bit more magic probably couldn't hurt. And we aren't going to get more abilities anytime soon. Actually, we probably could do with a little bit more AP. Let me go take care of this off screen and then we'll go fight the boss. I almost forgot about this last chest though, which... Damage drive. I think that gives you more drive when you take damage, which... could potentially be useful in the long term. Let's save state here, just in case we need it. And I think this is boss fight time. I don't think there's any more chests around here we can get. No, I don't think so. So, let's see if this crashes the game. It just might. It doesn't. It turns into Scar, which I don't think will be that big of an issue, honestly. I don't know how the... I don't know how the changing of the scenes will work. Is that something that is inherent in the arena here? Or is it something that is inherent with the P-boss fight? And we'll get in a different location? That could be very interesting. And my god! Scar is actually more of an issue than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, Scar is actually a bit of a bitch, honestly. Can I thunder him? I can, but it's not really effective. I didn't need to potion up. Donald healed me. I forgot that Donald still has cure. Yeah, this is still gonna be an issue, especially since I still do not have a single dry form. But it's not gonna be a big issue. We've had bigger issues in this randomizer so far, I think. Though this probably is one of the more tricky ones we faced as Sora. As Roxas, we ran into a lot of problems with T-posing potentiality, of course, but this might be one of the bigger threats we've faced as Sora. We're at max drive gauge. We're at 9. I thought we were at 8. Apparently we're at 9. So if I get another one, will I be able to go to 10 drive gauge? Is the question. Oh, you can still T-pose me because I'm not Little Lion Sora. And why can't I damage you anymore? Oh, I can damage you. Why couldn't I damage you for a second there? Do you have an invulnerable state, which usually happens in your fight? I don't think you do. It's the thing. You have a way to T-pose me, which I didn't think about. And luckily, that only happened once so far, and will never happen again, because we got a max HP and a max MP increase, which means that I don't really care, honestly. That's not the most exciting reward to be getting. Maybe we'll get another reward. I don't know if you get a item at the end of this all. You do. The Shaman Relic Plus. Marvelous. And the IO Tower map. Even better. I think that's it then. Right? Yeah, that's it. And that then unlocks Atlantica, which I don't know what we're going to do with that. But it also unlocks Port Royal, which I think a new episode has been added into the Colosseum. You know what? We're going to do that in a different episode. We're not going to do that today. I was going to say we might do that today, but let's not. I think I'm going to leave Atlantica for like the very end. Because there might be some interesting items we can get there, obviously. But it also requires certain magic, which I don't have, like Thundera and a certain amount of magnet and then Thundergar at the very end. So that's something to leave for the very end to just get some more fun things, potentially. So next time, Port Royal. And then when we get like a lot further into the game in general, there's probably also going to be a very like end game thing before we actually go into the world that never was. We'll do the Olympus Colosseum. We might do the Olympus Colosseum before the return to Twilight Town, and then between Twilight Town and the world that never was, we might do Atlantica. Something like that, right? But that's all going to be a while from now. For now, I want to thank you all for watching. I've been Vlogger, you've been awesome. this has been a... I want to say this has been a shorter episode, but it's not been that much shorter, I think. There's been a lot less downtime in this episode compared to usually. So that just goes to show me that the gameplay elements of Timeless River and Disney Castle aren't actually that much less than other worlds. There's just a lot more cutscenes and filler content. Downtime for these episodes in other worlds, apparently. Which makes sense, because there isn't a lot of cutscenes in Timeless River. Anyway, I'll see you all back next time. Bye.